Well, there are several things that one learns about the colleagues, which is very encouraging. And one of the things is that we understand each other despite differences, maybe in, not maybe, but despite differences in languages and mastery of the languages. In other words, what is happening is that in the area that I'm in, information science, it's people, academics around the world are speaking the same language. They are concerned with the same ideas. We read the same literature, and we communicate well. So you go to a conference, and within 5 minutes you're talking to everybody like you know them forever. I can talk hours about that, but what I would like to mention, one of the responsibilities and ethical aspects, and this is being a responsible web citizen. We have many examples, and some of them are quite tragic, in which people have behaved totally irresponsibly on the web, bullying each other. Unfortunately, for instance, at our own university, we had a tragic incident recently of a student committing a suicide because his roommate was filming his encounter, sexual encounter, and then putting it on the web. And so the responsibility and the behavior on the web takes some restraints, and it takes civility. And civility is an ethical matter. So I would say that's the biggest challenge, one of the biggest challenges today. I'm dealing with computers a long, long time. The first time I saw a computer, I fell in love with the computer. And like all love affairs, I fell out of love fast. I'm using computers every day, all the time. But I have found very fast in my professional work and then later on in my scientific work that the computer is a tool. And the key to the computer is not the tool, but interacting with that tool in an effective way. So the interest is how do you make that interaction more effective on both sides, on the computer side and on the human side. Great many scientific subjects have been reborn, and many have been born within the last few decades. And it has to do a lot with changes in technology, but then it has to also do a lot with advances in our knowledge. The human-computer interaction as well as the human information behavior is topics like that. So they are both challenging, but they are also extremely interesting. One of the challenges is to keep up. There is a lot of work in these areas going on in several fields, in psychology, in computer science, in sociology, in library and information science, and so on, in cultural studies, in ethnography. So how do you keep up? Because these areas are multidisciplinary. They're interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary, and keeping up is a challenge. So it's always nice to meet colleagues from other fields that are interested in the same topic, and suddenly you find out that they are doing work, the work that you are interested in, but in an entirely different way. Well, one of the things that I talked about, and that one should also understand, that the digital natives, digital born, are by themselves not different than any other generation or so on, and characterizing them as completely different is wrong. And the assumptions that have been made that they behave in different ways, it's also wrong. What there is a large generational change, and that generation change has been going on throughout history of humankind. You know, new generations are coming here, and old generations are behaving in some older way. What it's challenging is to understand in which technology is used by digital natives, and the challenging is how it's also misused. The challenge is also to find ways to enhance the use and usefulness and effectiveness of all the digital resources, the access to digital resources, and to enhance the ability for people, digital natives, to use it effectively. So being technologically savvy is not the same as being literate information-wise, being information literate. So in addition to knowing the technology, one also has to increase information literacy.